All right, everybody, welcome back to the OffBeat Sports Podcast presented by iSlide. Go check them out. All right, we're back. Me and Aiden to talk a little sports with you. This is our first one in a while, and we're going to be talking Pats preview, everything about this season,
Has
giving our
been good to
takes.
be back. It has been a while. I don't even know how many months now. What, three or four at least?
Yeah, we've been ripping just interviews, and we got to get back to the roots here. All right, Aiden's back at school, repping Holy Cross
We
everywhere,
are
but
Offbeat and Holy Cross.
yeah, let's get into it. Patriots this year. I mean, low, high expectations. How are we feeling?
I mean, I think it's honestly kind of subjective. Comparing to the past two seasons, probably pretty high expectations, but
Which is not
no,
saying
I
much. That's a
think
low bar.
yeah, like we'll get into record predictions and whatnot a little later on, but I feel like definitely looking for some improvement this year. Of course, the big storyline is going to be the year two jump, hopefully for Drake May, kind of showing improvements he's made in the offseason, along with the other improvements on the roster. We signed some important veterans on beef up the defense, hopefully fixed at least part of the offensive line, and receiving core should hopefully be passable this season, and really excited about Trevion Henderson kind of getting to see what he can do as part of their offense. And I mean, as Pats fans, we've all seen what a good receiving back, kind of like a James White, a Dion Lewis can do in the McDaniels offense. So yeah, I have some high expectations for them this year. Should hopefully be pushing for a playoff spot.
Yeah, I agree with pretty much everything you said. I mean, Trayvon's gonna be like he's gonna be a little hidden secret. That's not much of a secret because he's going in round four of fantasy drafts, which is wild to me considering he's gonna probably be splitting carries for half the season until
Oh,
Ramondre
at
fumbles
least,
15
yeah.
times and he takes over the job. But I mean, there's a lot of value there. The kid's a stud. I mean, we saw it in preseason. Kickoff returns, receiving, running. Like the kid is fast, he's shifty, he's powerful. Like you can't ask for much more out of a kid like that. But Drake May is definitely the big one. If he can play smart, limit turnovers, run when he needs to, but not pushing it to the point of concussions or other various injuries that could come from that. I think we're in good shape. I love the defense. A little bit more concerned after the Peppers news, which my reaction to that was like, what the hell? Like
Right. I don't think
he
anyone
was
saw
supposed to
that
be the
coming.
leader. He's supposed to be a leader on our defense. He played well this all off season. So I'm still confused. What was your reaction? Like, what were you thinking?
I was honestly shocked because I mean, you look at a lot of lists that various content creators make across Instagram, Twitter, whatever, when they're ranking like top safeties, top defensive backs, and there are many lists I saw that had Peppers in the top 10, top 15 safeties in the entire league. So to kind of see the reports that they didn't even really try to shop him at all and just straight up cut him loose is it's kind of a head scratcher for me because I would think that they could have gotten at least some value back for how good he's been with for them for the past few years. But yeah, I mean, it must just signal all the confidence in the world that Vrabel and the staff have in Jalen Hawkins, some of these other young safeties. They're gonna have to step up, especially with Duggar now being supposedly low on the depth chart. There's a lot of pressure on these young guys, but I trust the coaching staff that they know what they have, that they believe those young guys will step up to the plate and make enough plays.
And I expect our run defense to be significantly better. I mean, I feel like that's where we struggled. Our secondary solid, like we got good corners. Even if Gonzo doesn't go week one, you still got Davis and Austin who are playing well. Marcus Jones in that mix as well. But I mean, it's all going to come down to setting the edge. That was our struggle last year. Keon
Right.
White playing undisciplined. He's actually kind of gone to more of a secondary role in the depth chart, but not secondary. That sorry, second. He's like defensive end too, like behind the new guy. But we should be a little bit better. That's always like it's setting that edge that we struggled with last year, and I think that
Right.
that's where we need to see improvement. And I think that's where Vrabel comes in handy because that's a
That's the hope,
defensive
yeah.
guy, and you gotta hope that he can build that defense to do that. And even in the preseason, I feel like I feel it was definitely better, but definitely saw some mistakes that needed to be cleaned up. But again, preseason. How
Right.
much do
I
you really want to
mean,
read into that?
that's part of the thing too, is you look at the Tennessee teams that Vrabel coach, who by the way, we didn't even mention the coaching staff might even be the biggest upgrade we've had out of anything that got changed this offseason. But you look at Vrabel's defenses in Tennessee, they've all been solid, league average or better, even elite in some instances. And I mean, you see some of the defensive additions. You mentioned Carlton Davis, of course, is big in the secondary, but Vrabel brought some of his guys in. You know, he coached Robert Spillane for a little while. He coached
I
Harold
love
Landry.
Spillane. I'm a
Both
huge
of those
Spillane guy.
guys,
Dude, that guy hits hard.
he's good. He's a captain, right? I think they
That's
named him a
huge.
captain
Him
this
and
year.
the other new guy, Harold Landry.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's also captain. I mean, that's big trust to put a guy like two new guys in those positions.
yeah.
Well,
It
and
kind
then
of just
plus
shows the
Marcus Jones
leadership
and
that he's
Drake
bringing.
May are both first-time captains. Those other guys have been captains elsewhere, but I mean, it's the first year with the team. That's huge trust from Vrabel, and I think that's a big sign that he believes in those guys.
It is, yeah. They're definitely gonna need those guys to bring that leadership now with they have a much younger defense, right? I mean, Barmore hopefully be fully healthy for this season. Milton Williams is pretty young too. Of course, Gonzo's what 23, 24. So it's a very young defense overall, especially now with guys like Peppers on the way out. So definitely gonna rely on guys like Splain, guys like Landry, Davis, those kind of veterans that have been around the league for a while to kind of show the way early on for some of our younger players to kind of get in stride with since they especially know the scheme already too. They're playing for Mike Vrabel. They know what he's looking for out of those positions. So help out the younger guys.
Let me ask you about Diggs. So we look at Diggs. I mean, coming into a new spot, little bit of a rough start to the summer with some controversy coming off an injury, but he seems to turn it around. He looks good. He seemed from the video as I've seen, seems to be mentoring the young guys, having fun with it, which is kind of like what you want from him. You want that kind of positive energy, especially with Bourne being gone. He was that kind of guy as well. But I mean, you're not paying him to be like a fun guy. You're paying him to be a player. So from the player aspect, I mean, he's supposed to be healthy. He's supposed to be looking good. We haven't seen him yet, but what are you expecting from him? What are you looking from him to, or looking to get from him?
Right. Like we're not going to know for sure, obviously, until we see him on the field in 11v11s in the regular season making plays. But from what I saw from him, yeah, I guess it was a little concerning at first. You know, he had the whole boat incident right after getting signed. There were some Boston reporters out there, you know, doing what they do, mentioning he could get cut or some other, you know, far-fetched ideas. But ultimately, like he had his press conference the other day. He really apologized to the media for that and kind of walked back. You know,
What was
some
kind of
other
funny,
people did too.
it was like a passive aggressive apology where it was like apologizing, but also like, don't call me an asshole, like,
Yeah,
or a
like
pain in the
which
ass or whatever. Like, it
yeah,
was kind
those
of like
guys
that
like
fun, like, all right, we're adults. I'm a grown man. Don't treat me like I'm not a grown man. But also, I understand what I did was wrong, which was hilarious. And
right,
honestly,
yeah.
it was a very mature way of handling it, which I
Yeah,
respected.
I agree. I mean, yeah, those reporters they're not in the locker room every day, so they don't know what's going on. I think Phil Perry came out and said that people right after he published that story that Diggs wasn't well liked, like players, sources were coming to him saying, "No, we love this guy. Like he's
Dumb.
fine. Like, what are you talking about?" But no, I expect him to have a good season. The big key for him is just going to be can he stay healthy or will he be at least 80, 90% of the player that he was before he suffered that injury last year. Because I think he got injured maybe halfway through the season. He was on pace for another 1,000 yard receiving season, even as the wide receiver two behind Nico in Houston last year. So it's just going to be, can he get back to that level? And I think if he can, it's going to be a huge weapon for May and the rest of the offense because you got to think for the other receivers, guys like Kyle Williams, that's a rookie, Efton Chisholm, if he gets some snaps. Like if a guy like Diggs is really like your game-breaking receiver, he's going to draw a lot of attention from the defense. It's going to make it easier for those guys to get open. It's going to make it easier for Trevion, Ramondre, really Hunter Henry, the rest of the offense. We haven't really had a player like that if Diggs is who we think he is since, I mean, probably prime Gronk, right? Like
Mm.
before he got injured. So, it'll be nice if we can have Diggs up to the level he was at, and that honestly could be the big difference between the Pats offense taking the next step forwards, in Drake May's development.
Yeah. So when you look at this year's schedule, who or where is your record prediction standing? Like if it, like it seems like a cupcake schedule on paper.
Right.
What are your thoughts like? What's your record prediction? Why don't we give that to kind
All
of
right. You want me to,
wrap it
should I
up?
go game for game, you think, or just overall? What do you think we should do? I'll go game for game if you
Yeah,
want.
go game for game.
I have the schedule up right here. So, week one, this Sunday against Vegas, I see that one as a win. I've seen some pundits online kind of saying could be an upset. You know, they had the more experienced team with Gino and Pete Carroll rolling in, but I think the Patriots are going to surprise some people this week. They are favored too, so I think they take home the week one win at home. Go 1-0. The next week, I do have them losing to the Dolphins. They've always struggled in Miami. It's going to be early in the season, probably going to be a hot one. I wouldn't, if they're going to lose to Miami this year, I would expect that would be the one they drop. Then I had them going on a mini winning streak, beat Pittsburgh at home. It could be a toss-up game whether they make the playoffs or not. I was taking care of business against the Panthers. So what's that? 3-1. Lost to the Bills, pretty self-explanatory in Buffalo. Then I have us ripping off probably 4 wins in a row here. We get games against the Saints, Titans, Browns, and Falcons, all of which are very winnable. Game at Tampa is going to be tough. Probably have us taking an L there. Sweep the Jets, lose at the Bengals. I'd say we beat the Giants, beat the Bills at home. That one could go either way, but I think we split with them this year if we're as good as we think we are. I have us losing in Baltimore, and then yeah, beating the Jets and then beating the Dolphins. So it's 10-7 is probably our ceiling, 10-7. And if our
So
floor is probably like 7 wins, probably if we don't, we lose some of those toss-up
yeah,
games.
for me,
But
I'm sitting at 9 wins. Not even like looking at the schedule, but not going game by game. I'm sitting at 9 wins. I'm gonna go game by game. We're gonna see if we get there. Um, but I'm sitting at 9. But like, I think there's a few games that if you can win, you could get you should be around 10 or 11. I think 10 is definitely in the realm of possibility. 11 might be pushing it, but I think 9 is kind of where I'm sitting.
yeah,
Um,
that's
but so
fair.
I think for week one, I got to win. So 1-0. I have them beating Dolphins week two, so 2-0, losing to the Steelers week three. So 2-1, beating the Panthers 3-1, losing to the Bills 3-2, 3-2, beating the Saints, Titans, and Browns has me at 6-2, losing to the Falcons 6-3, losing to the Buccaneers 6-4, and then I have beating the Jets 7-4, losing to the Bengals 7-5, beating the Giants 8-5, losing to the Bills 8-6, losing to the Ravens 8-7, beating the Jets, beating the Dolphins, so I'm probably at about 10.
Yeah.
But if you split with one of the Dolphins or the Jets, that would probably be where I'm at 9 wins. But I think you can easily get to 10 if you take care of business in those games. I feel like you should win.
Right, I agree. Like, to be honest, if you ask me, I don't think we're gonna win 11 games. Now, those are all very winnable games. That's why I think that's our ceiling for sure. It's like 11.
Mhm.
Like we're not gonna sweep the Bills. We're probably not beating the Ravens in Baltimore, Cincy in their place. Like some of those games, like just you can just pencil in as losses. But I think if things go our way, we could hit that 10-11
Who
frame.
knows?
If
We might
things
get hot
don't.
and beat one of those teams. You
Yeah,
never
who
know.
knows? Like
Like,
we no, I don't think anybody had us winning against Cincinnati week one last year. So it's the
yeah,
NFL. You got
you
to go
also
out and
never
play
know
the
with
games.
injuries. You never know how
Right. I
the
mean,
injury bug might
Josh
hit a
Allen
team.
goes down week one, then I think we'd be expected to
Oh,
sweep
don't
the
say that. He's
Bills,
my
right?
fantasy QB for like all my teams, so don't say
I'll
that.
knock on wood real quick.
I can't have that. But
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, no, but I have a
anywhere
positive
within
outlook.
7 to 11 wins. It's
Yeah.
pretty. I know it's a pretty big gap, but I mean, you just don't know with this year's team yet. We got to see them out in the field first.
That Raiders game is going to be a huge like identifier for how the season is going to go. I think you take care if you lose to the Raiders, my outlook looks completely different. I think.
Right, I would agree with
Um,
that.
But yeah, but I think I have a positive outlook on the season. I mean, I feel like I say that every year, but for this year, I'm feeling even better. So, I love the defense. I think the offense can't get any worse. So, and I like McDaniel. And I like variables. So, I got faith, but I'm excited. It should be a good fun season.
Yeah.
And
The first Pat
we'll
season in a
check back
while.
in later.
What's up?
I said we'll check back in later in the
We
season and
will.
maybe
Yeah, I'll know for sure.
might be a
It
different
is still the
story.
first. This is like the first Pat season we've really been excited for in a few years now. We actually have a chance to do something.
I know. I know. I'm excited. But we will check back in and we'll talk about it again later. But should be fun. Should be fun. So thank you everyone for listening. Be sure to check us out on Instagram at offbeat_sports, on TikTok at offbeat sports, and we will see you next time.
Call them all Texas.